Number 1. Silhouette. I grew up in a house that's pretty old. It was built in 1856. The dining room has a giant window facing the front porch. The porch wrapped around the house to the kitchen door on the side. There's a living room right next to the dining room that gives a perfect view of the window. One night, while I was visiting home from college, I was watching television in the living room. I was the only one awake in the house. My mother was asleep and my father and sister were elsewhere. I hear a small clicking noise and I direct my eyes over to the dining room window where I see a silhouette of a large man in a flannel or a coat and wearing a baseball cap. He was just standing at the window facing into the house. My heart about exploded, but I didn't move an inch. If he was watching me, I didn't want him to know that I saw him. I got up, walked over the stairs, and as soon as I reached them, I sprinted up to my room. I grabbed a loaded caliber Marlin .336 and my uncle's combat knife. I walked downstairs, threw on all the lights, and busted out the kitchen door as I cocked my rifle. Firmly but without yelling, I said, "I have a gun, come out and I won't shoot you." I swung around to the front porch, completely prepared to attack someone, but there was nothing. I spent about an hour and a half searching around the 2.5-acre property, but I never found anybody. I didn't sleep that whole week. Number 2. The Watchers. The summer between my freshman and sophomore years of high school, a friend of mine and his family moved in with his grandma. They were buying a house that ended up having to have some work done on it, so his grandma invited them to live with her while they waited for the house to get finished. She had a beautiful big house and it was just her and my friend's cousin that lived there, so there was plenty of room. My friend's cousin was 2 years older than me and was going into her senior year of high school. The house's living room had a vaulted ceiling with floor-to-ceiling windows on all sides. It looked amazing but gave you no real privacy. It wasn't a big deal though because the house sat about 500 feet off the road and had woods surrounding it on all sides. Shortly after my friend and his family moved in, I went over on a Saturday to spend the night. My buddy's room was small, so we decided to sleep on the 2 couches in the living room. Just as we were getting ready to go to sleep, about 1 a.m. we saw someone walk past the window outside. We freak out. We get his dad, who shuts off the lights in the house. About 100 feet away in a tree line, you can see a small red light as 2 people pass a cigarette back and forth. They're just standing there, watching the house. His dad calls the police, then opens the front door and yells to the 2 guys who take off. The police find nothing over there. The woods are full of little game trails, so there is no telling where the guys went. A few weeks later, another friend and I spent the night there. The 3 of us walk into the living room at about 10 p.m. to watch a movie. But then we see a guy standing in the window. We freak out, but he runs off. Again, we can see the lights of the cigarettes in the distance. Over the course of the summer, there were multiple encounters with the Watchers. There were 3 places they would come and stand, but we could never forecast where they would go. They would knock on the windows. Once they shook the front door so hard it set off the burglar alarm. At times we would just see them in the tree line watching the house. Once they took lipstick and wrote "hello" on the window. We never found out who the Watchers were. Eventually the house my buddy's family was buying was fixed and they moved. Whoever they were is still one of the great mysteries of my life. Thanks guys, please share, comment, and subscribe for more videos. And remember, never forget to lock your doors.